Hey guys, welcome back to Trek on the Tube, and welcome back to yet another Star Trek Discovery review. Today we're talking about Season 2, Episode 10, The Red Angel. Before we begin, and I don't say this often because I generally don't feel like I need to, but just in case you're new to the channel, be warned, every single one of my reviews is spoiler heavy. I dive into all of the big twists and reveals the episode has to offer, so if you care about that, make sure to watch the episode before my review. That being said, even if I have seen the entire season, I won't be spoiling episodes in advance. Here on Trek on the Tube, we like to take the episodes one at a time. So, The Red Angel. Well, this is one of those times where the second viewing didn't quite work as well as the first. At least for me. And that's because most of the intrigue, most of what keeps your attention is based off surprise and reveal. I know a lot of modern TV shows love to have those shock moments, and it is great to have them. Big twists have become a big part of the fun of watching TV, but what's really complicated to do is make sure that the story is still compelling during the rewatches. Even if the reveals are important, the journey is ultimately what counts. So in this episode, there were two shock moments: the reveal of the Red Angel's identity and what happens to Leland. I'm not counting the fact Burnham doesn't die because, come on, did anyone anywhere think that would actually happen? The thing is, once you've seen what happens to Leland, once the initial surprise is gone, and once you've seen the season and you know all about the story concerning the Red Angel, this episode has nothing substantial left to offer upon rewatch. Yes, I very much enjoyed seeing the ceremony for Arium. It was nice. It gives a certain finality to the character, and it helps convey the emotional impact of the event to the audience. Plus we get Saru singing in Kelpian, that was amazing. Then the coffin gets shot into space, which has become something quite common in Star Trek now. The whole sequence was brilliant. It makes me wonder why none of this was done for Koba back in Season 1. But that's a complaint for Season 1, not for Season 2. On the contrary, I give credit to Season 2 for doing this. I also quite liked seeing all of our characters split up into different groups, each group with their own assignment. It makes more sense than having just two officers like, say, Data and Geordi working on a problem but no one else on the ship. It was also nice to see more conference room scenes, even if I strongly believe the chief engineer should be there as well. And then learning more about Burnham's childhood, her parents, and the research that they were doing. Learning about the events that ultimately put her on Vulcan as part of Sarek's family. That was fantastic and important, especially considering she's the main character. But those are only small elements in an overall very flawed story that also is sprinkled with all of these little things that bug me. For starters, it's not believable within the Star Trek universe that such an advanced piece of Federation technology was built so early on. Remember, the Red Angel's suit isn't from the future, it's from Burnham's childhood. It's from the past. I'm also confused as to how her mother, upon arrival, is able to reanimate her with this medical beam of light. Was that built into the suit, or did she modify it herself? If so, how? Also, think about this for a second. Everyone at this time assumes the Red Angel is Burnham herself, not her mother. They don't have any clue about that. It's Burnham, but from the future. They hatch a plan to pretend to kill Burnham, but why does not one single person come to the conclusion that maybe, just maybe, future Burnham has already lived all of these events and knows that she doesn't need to come back to save herself because it's just a trap? I think Spock realizes this by the end of the episode, and that's why he's the one that stops people from reanimating Burnham. They let her die. But it still doesn't make any sense. Honestly, Burnham, if she knew that she was gonna die, would come back and save herself, but she would also know how to dodge the trap because she was there when the trap was created in the first place. Time travel never really works. I don't know. Anyway. And then there's the millions of little things that grind my gears in this episode. Pike, when talking to Georgiou, tells her she can use Stamets. He's one of the best. One of the best, not the best. Probably because the best is the chief engineer and he doesn't seem to exist. Having Stamets do everything when it concerned the spore drive with the mycelial network was fine, but now it's just dumb. There's also Burnham hitting Leland, which was way out of line. She's an officer striking another officer. That's a big no-no. It's not even justified. He didn't kill her parents. He was just some young officer following orders. It was her parents that wanted to push on with their work. Burnham also hit a punching bag at some point, which in itself is fine, but when you try to reconcile it with Season 1, it no longer works. Lorca and Tyler have a holographic training program in Season 1. Why does that no longer exist? Like, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say I wasn't happy when there was the holographic training program, and now that it's not there, I'm not happy either. I'm never happy. Well, that's just not true. They never should have done the holodeck in the first place. That was the original mistake. But considering they did do it, never talking about it again doesn't make it go away. That's how a child fixes a problem. What you need to do is address the issue, confront the issue, and justify it to the best of your ability. There could have been a scene with Burnham and another character in front of the holodeck talking about how it's a very basic training program. It's nothing fancy, and how maybe in a few years it could potentially turn into something more. And there you go, I would have been happy, and it would have tied in nicely to the animated series. And then there's the smaller things that confuse me more than anything. Why exactly is Emperor Georgiou so attached to Prime Burnham? Why does Admiral Cornwell never do anything herself, instead of saying your call to Pike? Anyway, on a technical level, the show continues to be great. The episode was well directed, the visual effects are of high quality, and all of the performances worked. And God, I loved the set they had for the planet's surface. It was rugged and destroyed. It was so beautiful. I honestly felt like I was there. I know I originally said that the episode was good on Twitter. I said it was overall good. And now I may look stupid because I'm saying it's not. But that's how it is. After the second rewatch, I didn't enjoy it as much as the first. I mean, that's how it is. Don't get me wrong, the episode isn't bad. In my opinion, so far, Season 2 hasn't given us a single bad episode. It's just not really good. Once the intrigue is gone, once, the initial surprises are gone, only the flaws remain visible. Okay, we're at about that time where I transition into the Easter eggs and references I could spot, but considering there is only one, which is the mention of the Klingons working on time travel, which brings to mind the finale of Voyager, but it is kind of an abstract Easter egg, I thought I'd maybe share a very short opinion piece instead. There's a scene in this episode with Georgiou, Stamets, and Culber, also Tilly in the background, and I found it to be a weird moment. The three characters essentially talk about the varying sexual orientations of, themselves and their mirror or Prime Universe counterparts. For the first time, if I'm not mistaken, in Star Trek history, we have the words gay and pansexual used on screen. The scene itself is not the issue. The issue is the scene in a Star Trek show. I prefer it when Star Trek treats these topics as non-issues, if that makes sense to you. If a character is gay, then a character is gay. We don't need to talk about it, we don't need to care about it. The same way no one ever talks or cares about anyone being straight. Because even if sexual orientation is a big topic today, in today's real world, I feel like no one would give a shit in the future that Star Trek is presenting us. People are the way they are. Who cares? So, to me, the scene felt a little forced and out of place. That being said, I know some people who love the scene, I know others who didn't. I suppose there's no right or wrong here, that's just how I feel, this is just me taking part in the conversation. Okay, there you go. I know this video wasn't exactly uplifting, my review wasn't very positive, and there were no Easter eggs to go over, but I hoped you enjoyed the video nonetheless. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and most of all, live long and prosper.